Hello, my name is Robbie. On here, I'm Templar Knight. Every person who believes in God but does not go to church has a story why. But it says in the Bible that whenever two or more gather in God's name, that He is there. So this is church. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. For tonight's lesson, I was kind of decided to base this off of things that I have learned on stream. Because I've been really getting into this Twitch thing lately. And I'd like to try something. I know I don't get to see this part, but everyone who is here in chat, just go ahead and say something. Put up an emote, say hello, do something that would let a streamer know you're there. Because there's one thing that I have learned from being a streamer, is that it is hard to interact with people if you don't know they're there. In all legitness, I had that very problem 10-15 minutes ago when I was starting. Oftentimes I have a big crowd that shows up right at the beginning and is ready for the stream to begin, and we chit-chat during the stream will be starting soon screen. But everyone was running a little late today. So I just sat there and talked with Geek, because I knew she was there. As a streamer, you don't know unless people tell you. As a viewer, sometimes I use that to my advantage. If I'm just feeling someone out for the first time, like I go through the Driven Teams Discord and I look and see who's all streaming, I'll click on one and I'll see who's here. And I'll go and I'll watch for a little bit. I won't just jump in right away and say, ta-da, here I am. I will go and I'll just watch for 5-10 minutes, see what they're about, see what their stream is, see what they're doing, see if I recognize anyone else there. Then I'll normally let my presence be known. Say, hello, or I'll put my little hi emote with Mr. Blue Sky. Because they don't know I'm there until I let them know I'm there. And that's a level of security for me, because I have a little bit of social awkwardness, especially around people I don't know. It takes me a while to warm up. So I've got to watch someone for 5-10 minutes, unless it's someone I already know, just to feel them out a little bit. Say, you know, I do want to interact with this person, or I think I'm going to pass on this one, and just move on to another. But that's how I stream. That's how I view people. When I'm watching, I'll let them know when I'm there. Now sometimes as a viewer, I'm about the time commitment to watching someone. I don't show up, drop 50 bits, and then say, hey, great stream, and I'm out. I would rather show up and be active with them and talk and interact and be around for sometimes hours on end. A lot of streamers, they'll just click open a window and then do the lurk, hit the tab button, and have them on in the background so they're still there as a viewer, but they're not really viewing it. They're just doing it for the number. And I will admit, I did that too for a while. I would just open up every single streamer I knew's stream and then lower the video quality so it didn't bog down my machine, and then mute the window and put it on the side tab. And just interact with a few people. But I realized that's not the type of viewer I want to be. So when I tune into people's streams, I'm watching. I'm trying to interact. Now mind you, I have 3 monitors sitting here. So I can watch 3 streams at one time. I have this amazing talent that my wife hates. I can listen with my eyes. Hear me out now. What I mean when I say that is that my ears go to where my eyes are. If I can see something, that's what I'm listening to. So when I have all 3 monitors running different streams, I'm watching this one, and that's the one I hear. Look over here, I'm watching this one. That's what I hear. Look up here, that's what I hear. My wife learned this a while ago, because if she tries talking to me and I don't stop to look at her, I don't hear her. She has constantly made it clear to me that if she has something important to say, she needs to get my attention and then wait for me to stop and acknowledge her and look at her. Which is smart, because if she didn't realize that, I would constantly be getting in a lot more trouble than I do. But she knows that I hear with my eyes. So as a streamer, when I've got multiple people up, I'm listening to the one I'm looking at, even though they've all got the volume on. I set the volumes, and that's what I do. I'll watch multiple streams. For a while, I'll be over here watching this one, typing, "Hello, I'm here, I'm watching, how are you doing today?" Go over here. "Hey, how's it going? I enjoy this game." Go back. And I'm constantly interacting with multiple streams at one time. Now, sometimes there's not a whole lot going on. As a streamer, as a viewer, we all know what that's like. You tune in, there's just nothing I need to interact with. But I always try to let people know I'm here. I've got a person I moderate for on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I show up and I watch the stream, and sometimes there's a lot to do and a lot to talk about and interact with. Other times, I'm just there to watch the show. But I do make a constant point to say something every now and then. Just to say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm still watching." Just to let them know, just to give them that slight interaction. Because it's scary when you're streaming and chat doesn't move for 10 minutes. You're like, am I sitting here streaming to no one? It's intimidating. I mean, you just push through and hope that there's someone there, but it's so much more exciting when the viewers are active and people are talking. So as a viewer, I try and do that. I try and say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm still watching you." I put up my little emote with Mr. Blue Sky. "Hi." Just so they know there's someone watching. Sometimes I wonder if, what if God were to show up in my stream one day? I'm sitting here streaming, talking, all of a sudden there's just this new user. The Almighty Holy One. "Hi." And that's all he has to say. Now granted, anyone could create that name. But what if God showed up and was watching what I was doing? What if God was there? Let's take it off the computer for a second. What if God is watching my life? What if he just sends me a sign and say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm still watching." A lot of people, they get confused because I get this question all the time. "Robbie, I want to believe in God, but I need that proof. I need to know." How do you know he is there? It's a belief. It's a faith. It is nothing I can prove, but I know it. You know, if we wanted, we could go biblical here. My first thought when I was doing this was to find out when in the Bible God showed people, gave them actual physical proof of his existence. Just showed up, did something to say, "Hey, I'm here." I quickly realized that I don't have enough time for this stream. Because when I started going through some references and such, I realized that there are over 300 Bible verses alone where God says, "I'm here." I mean, if we were to talk about just actual physical signs, let's start at the beginning. One of the first, most well-known signs when God just shows up and says, "Hey, I'm here." It's Genesis chapter 6. Those of you who do not know, that's when Noah was told to build his boat. God just started talking to him. Says, "Hey Noah, there's a big flood coming. I'm not happy with the way humanity's going. I'm going to hit the reset button. You need to build a boat." Noah's like, "Okay, got this." And granted, it was a lot more in depth than that. God told him how big to build it, what to do. God was kind of an engineer on this. He knows things. But Genesis 6, God just shows up and tells Noah, "Build a boat." Let's go to one of the next chapters. Exodus chapter 3. This guy named Moses, he was up on a hill, and this bush lights on fire and starts talking to him. God told Moses he needed him to go and free his people from slavery. So he does. Cool story. If you ever want to hear about some crazy miracles and some stuff happening, go read Exodus with Moses. That is There's some crazy stuff that happens there. What's really awesome is a lot of it has been scientifically proven to have happened. But, sorry, I'm not going into that right now. Another time, one of my personal favorites, it's 1 Samuel chapter 3. There was this guy, Samuel. He was a kind of apprentice's dude, Eli. And Samuel's laying in bed, and he hears someone calling out to him. So he goes up to Eli. He's like, hey, what'd you need? And he was like, I didn't say nothing. Go back to bed. Okay. Samuel goes back to bed. God calls out to him again. Samuel wakes up. Figures it's Eli. Wanders back in. Hey, what's up? What'd you want? Dude, I'm trying to sleep. It wasn't me. Go to bed. Goes back to bed third time. Samuel wakes up, walks in. Eli, seriously, bro. It's like, dude, it's not me. Next time you hear the voice, that's God. Talk to him. Another cool story. Again, I don't want to go too deep into all these. But yeah, 1 Samuel chapter 3. Cool story. Sorry, I gotta catch up on my notes now. But if I wanted to, we could sit here for hours, and I could literally just flip through the Bible and tell you all the times that God said he was here. If you really want proof, I can't give it to you. But there's a lot of things that I can't prove that I know exist. For instance, gravity. I have never seen gravity. I've seen what gravity can do. I know that gravity exists. I know how powerful gravity is. But I can't prove to you that gravity is real. Wind. I've seen the effects of wind, but I've never seen wind. I have seen wind pick things up and move it and do so many powerful things. I have felt wind, but I've never actually seen it. I can't prove that wind is real. Y'all picked up on those analogies, right? Just because I can't prove it doesn't mean it's not there. I'm going to flip the coin back. I've been sitting here talking about how God can prove that he's real, prove he's there, what he can do. How sometimes I just wish he would just pop in, hey, still watching. But what would we do if we were watching God's stream? How do we let God know, I'm still here, I'm still watching? I can tell you first and foremost, the easiest way to let God know you're here, prayer. I know some people are not comfortable with prayer. But don't view it as some ritual where you have to say the right words. Some of my best prayers, some of the times I felt the most contact with God, was when I was talking to him the same way I'm talking to you guys right now. The same way I would talk to someone if I had a broken down vehicle and I needed help. Hey man, I'm stuck on the side of the road right now and I really need you to come and bail me out. Can you be here for me? Prayer is really simple. You just gotta try it. When you talk to God, he might not always talk back. In all honesty, I've never physically heard a voice, but I felt it. I have asked God for things in prayer when I was struggling. and I have felt relief. I have thanked God in prayer when I am celebrating and rejoicing, and I have felt His warmth. Sometimes, not yet. I want to do another verse in the Bible about someone who called out to God. This is Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. I'm going to go ahead and read this word for word, not my usual paraphrase. I want to read this word for word. So Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who shall go for us? And then I said, Here I am. Send me. Now that's Isaiah there talking. God asked who he should send. Isaiah says to God, Here I am. Send me. Not tonight. The thought of God asking us to do something and how willing he was to volunteer. Just saying, God, I'm right here. I am right here. You know, it reminds me of earlier this week, I was at Walmart after work. I'm in the Hot Wheels section, checking out the new cars. You know, that's where all the toys are, so I gotta look at the Hot Wheels. That's kind of my thing. And there's this little kid in the aisle, maybe 6, 7 years old, and he's running up and down the aisle. Mom, look at me, look at my new shoes. Look how fast I can run. And he's just going back and forth. They had just been in the shoe aisle apparently, and he was getting new shoes. And he was so excited about these new shoes, because everybody knows that little kids in new shoes can run so fast. And he was so excited, and I could not help but absorb some of that excitement, because he was so fast. And he was so excited for his mom to see how fast he was. And she was so excited because he was so fast. And all of a sudden those cars didn't really matter to me, the Hot Wheels I was looking at. I just was sitting there kind of watching this boy. How excited he was, his joy. And how happy he was that his mom was watching. He's running up and down. Mom, look at me. Look at me. Look what I can do, Mom. Look at me. I wish I had that passion again. I wish I had a new pair of shoes. And I was running around saying, God, look at me. Look what I can do. Look how fast I am. And God looks back at me and he says, I see you. I'm here. I'm still watching. Sorry, I'm gonna make it through one stream. Communication is a two-way street. God is out there giving us so many billboards, just neon lit signs, saying what he's trying to do with us in our lives. What are we doing back? How often are we going to God and saying, hey, what can I do? I'm right here. Send me. Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying my best to Reach out and say, God, I'm your tool. Use me to spread your love to these people. I just hope I can reach. Because I got this Twitch stream going now. And I'm running up and down the aisles. God, look at me. Look what I'm doing for you. I hope God's doing the same for you. And if he's not, ask him to. Reach out. Go to God's chat window and say, hey, I'm here. Let him know if you're struggling. Let him know if something is going great. Don't just have God as oh, I've hit rock bottom, I need him. Let him know about the great things too, because he wants to celebrate with you. Some of the times when I felt the most moved by the Holy Spirit was when I was sharing worship and celebration. Just saying, hey, I am so thankful right now for what you're doing for me. I am so thankful for what you're doing in this person's life. I am so thankful for everything. Here on Twitch, we stream, we use chat rooms to communicate with each other. Out in the real world, try praying. If you're not comfortable with it, just try talking to him. It doesn't have to be some big fancy, dear sweet Lord Jesus, we are gathered here so that you may bless us. It doesn't have to be that way. God will talk to you the way you want to talk to him. I'm sure he'd just be happy to be acknowledged. Is God still here? He's still watching.